Lieberman is doing on this one, and I'm living this bill.
They're all doing it. Look, there was a situation recently that Oprah Winfrey sparked up when she had a movie coming out, and I guess she wanted to get some hype for the movie to sell out at the box office. She created a problem over there and claimed a racist situation took place.
Correct. And because if people buy into it, they're going to take sides and go to her movie.
Wow. And and it's
see how well you can control people.
Right. It's sold so well. It's sold so well, and people we continue to play the role in fall victim, lamb to the slaughter behavior, sheep mentality, herd mentality. So we got a call coming in. Hang on, guys. Caller, you're live with Pressure Point Radio right now.
Yeah, man. What's up, Pressure Point Radio, man? It's Stress Money, man. I'm just checking in.
All right, Stress Money.
Seeing what's going on, man. Listening to the conversation for a while now. Just had a few comments I want to make.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. Just saying hello out to everybody in Radio Land out there, everybody that's tuned into the radio station. From what I got from the caller, Mr. Edward Johnston.
Yep.
Yeah. Gentleman out there on the where does he call it, on the West Coast, I believe, somewhere on that side over by where.
I'm out of Oregon.
We're out of Oregon.
My website is OregonTrackers.com, and you can read your civil rights on the civil rights links.
Great, understandable, great. A lot of things that you brought forward and put out there to the public. Quite frankly, I think it's above our head in what we do in our communities right now, and what's going on with that in our communities right now. A lot of people the average person in the black community, we don't understand the laws, we don't understand the Constitution, we don't understand what sovereignty is, and these such, and such things. We don't understand anything. Not to cast it above everyone, because some of us.
No. Total respect here. I know exactly what you mean.
The majority of us, we don't mesh with that too well, because we have been trained and we've been indoctrinated to frown upon the Constitution. Because when the Constitution was wrote, we weren't even considered human beings once the Constitution was drafted up.
I know, because I'm going to add something really good here for you. All right, yeah. 1867, when the birth certificates were originally issued after the Civil Rights Act of 1866, the birth certificates were originally issued to the colored folks. That was to guarantee their freedom from the de facto government of 1871. All right, so at that time, the birth certificate, you had to be legally 2 or more generations to be called an American under the Civil Rights Act after our war with the Civil War with the British government. So that was the start that gave us our freedom from the de facto government, the 10 square miles of Washington, D.C. 1933.
Yeah, but I understand that, but I'm going back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please finish. I
understand that, but I'm going from before the Constitution was drafted, and I'm going at all the hypocrisy that goes on when we talk about the Constitution and we talk about black people or the black. I wouldn't even say black people. The black race in this country. We as black people, we need to turn away from the Constitution. The Constitution was never going to do anything for black people. It might work for the Caucasian male, but it's not going to work for black people, because we have a black race. We have melanin, and that melanin in our skin that gives us that distinction of being black with curly hair. That Constitution will never help us. It will never cover us. We'll never be considered within that Constitution. The best things we as black people can do is to pack our stuff and get as far away from the Constitution as we possibly can. Because all the Constitution, all the laws that was ever written in this country were never written or ever considered to benefit black people or the black race on no level. And communities, and I think this is where we get the brash outlook from. Because in our communities, we somehow believe that if we go to the courts, or the court has some form of remedy for our situation, or there's some kind of form of strategies that are going to help us. No, there's no strategy, there's no remedy that's going to help you, because you cannot change the color of your skin. And that is the 99% of the injustice and discrimination and persecution that we face in this country is based off of our complexion, based off our skin. It's based off our racial identity. And which we know that racial identity and race identity is something that's made up. It's another trick that's made up anyway, because we're all made from the same genes. We all have the same genes. We're all the same. No, there's really no difference. But this that distinction that we can tell with the melanin varying difference in our skin tone, that has given the green light for us to be trampled upon, persecuted upon. And when I look at our communities, we have to think of ways where we can move away from the system. There's no system, there is no laws, there is no constitution that's going to protect us, that's going to have our best interests at hand. We have to look at to be more self-sufficient. We look at the continent of Africa, we see how that continent has been raped, has been pillaged up until this day. Even China, look at what China has. China would never be the economic force that it is right now, the global force that it is right now, had it had the natural resources that came out of Africa. So these are what we need to look forward to. We need to come together, black people, and form our own identity, not fall under the identity that's been given to us. We need to make our own identity. So, and I understand everything you say, and I agree with listening to you, I agree with about 80% of the things that you have said. And I can say that because a lot of things that you said, to be honest, I have not researched and seen it for myself, but a lot of stuff that you have said, I have researched and I know. And I wouldn't be surprised if you're a Calvinist yourself, because I see where you're coming from, and you understand the Constitution. A lot of people don't understand the Constitution. But what I do know about the Constitution is never, ever, ever going to be a place within this Constitution, within this government, for the black person. That's what I know, and that's what history has proven. And I can only go off of what history has proven. And that's what history shows us, that no matter what, as black people, we will never, ever be a part of this. So everything that you're saying, I don't think that pertains to us. I think that pertains to the white Caucasian man. And I'm not, and if that makes me a racist, I'll be a racist. But I think that's
that doesn't make you a racist. But I mean, I grew up in the Bay Area of San Francisco, so
okay.
We weren't raised. I mean, I grew up with Orientals and colors. A lot of my best friends were colored men, and so and that's the point that we got, not to make it an issue between one of each, because if we didn't unite together to stand to protect our own families, our own food resources, our own grounds. And that's the point of getting everybody to understand. If we don't protect our food resources and stand together, no matter what color we are, all right, we're still divided at that point, because one guy's got his corner over here, one guy's got his corner over here, and it's too easy for them to just take us out in that section, and that's how they get us fighting amongst each other without us not defending one another, so we can have the right to go in the woods and get our food if we want to eat, instead of being forced to go in the grocery store and rob the store and being in jail for something, that they created for us to go to jail on, because they cut our force down because we don't have the resources. And that includes all colors, all animals.
Exactly. And I think, I honestly think, with every core belief inside of me, as a black person, had we been able to have a resource that we can have for ourselves, we would not be as oppressed, okay, and discriminated as we are in this world. We have the Japanese. They have their car expansion, their electronics expansion. Okay, we have the U.S. with its consumerism and that expanding across the globe. Okay, we have China with it using its human population as a force that's expanding. Okay, we have mass producing what they can do there. We have Europe with their stocks, with their bonds, with their trade and colonialism that they have used to attain what they have gained. Okay, now when we turn to Africa now, we have nothing. There's no African nation that can stand up and say, okay, we have the Arabs, okay, that have the oil expansion that they have, and guess what? We have to respect them. We might not agree with them.
ones that came out of the county.
Excuse me?
The British were the ones that were coming in and destroying everything and bringing everybody behind them.
Yes, exactly. The British with their colonialism. We understand that, and then the rest of Europe followed suit. We understand that. We understand, and then the propaganda started. The Magna Carta and the whole and the false beliefs. We get that. But what I'm saying is that as black people, as a race, because there's nothing. No matter where you go in this world, okay, you can be Latino. That's a language ethnicity. That's like a language linguistic ethnicity. Okay, but if you're in Brazil, okay, and your skin is black, you're going to be oppressed far more greater than the oppression than your fellow countrymen face that are lighter skinned, that are white. And this is what we have to change. We have to change that because you said it yourself. You grew up on the Bay Area where you saw there was a great diversity there. Okay, now let's make no mistake. Even in that area, we had the Japanese that were oppressed in this country. But we can't do that anymore. It can't be done anymore because guess what? If that happens in this country, then someone's going to have to answer to Japan. You understand? If you mistreat Arabs too much in this country, then somebody's going to have to answer to the Arab League. Okay, the Arab nations, they're going to have to answer to that. But if you mistreat the black man in this country, you don't have to answer to nobody. You can continue to do it. And if you continue to go on, and there's no one